Hi, I'm Madison, and today I'm going to be doing a fun game to decide on my TBR. This was inspired by Destiny, so I made this. You're welcome to get it on Etsy if you want to. I'll put a link in my bio, and I just cut out all the pieces and laminated it. These prompts tell you, like, pick a book this color, and actions are like, go to a coffee shop and read, like those kinds of things. And then we land on different options. So it's not really Monopoly. We're not playing with like fake money or anything. So I'm gonna roll the dice here. See what I land on. 2. 1, 2. Got a prompt. A book on your TBR with the longest title. I think I'm going to go through and do 5. That gives me leeway to be a mood reader as well. Roll again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another prompt. A book with one-word title. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I have to go to jail, and jail is a book buying ban for a month. So I cannot buy any books in January, March, April, May, June, July, August, October. Okay. The library's going to be seeing me a lot. Okay. So that was, I guess, rolling 6 times because that wasn't a book. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have action, audiobook, and craft. So some of them come blank, and you can fill out your own. So audiobook and craft, that counts as a book. 2, 1, 2. I haven't landed on a genre yet. I've only landed on the cards. Read something out of your comfort zone. It's probably going to be like some sort of sci-fi or classic. We might be crazy. Fall does feel like classic reading time. 1 more. 4. Do I count start as a space? I'm not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4. A horror. Okay. I don't think I own a horror because I'm a scaredy cat. So I'll have to check something out on the library. Or at the library. Okay, so we have a book on my TBR with the longest title. Let's pull my TBR card over here. I also recently redid my craft, library, office, hobby hoarder room, and that's coming up in the next video. So stay tuned for that. But we have my TBR cart here. It's getting caught on tassels. Let's see. A book on your TBR with the longest title. I'm having so much fun here. Without You looks like a pretty long title. That's a contender. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not long enough. I am having so much fun here. Without You is the first book for a book with your longest, a book on your TBR with the longest title. A book with a one-word title. I do believe we have a few of these. Foxglove, Cinder, Gallant. Ooh, there's so many good ones, actually. And Chosen. I think I'm gonna look through these. I think I'll actually pick Gallant as my horror. I don't know if this is technically a horror, but this is, I think, the scariest I'm willing to get. So I'm going to count that as my horror book. And a book with my one-word title, I think I'm going to do Foxglove, because I loved Belladonna, and I want more of death. So we'll read the second book. Audiobook and craft what is a book that I want to listen to? We'll look through Spotify and see what we can find. And then read something out of your comfort zone. I think I'm going to do The Nightingale, actually, instead of a sci-fi, because historical fiction is also out of my comfort zone. I don't usually gravitate towards it. It makes me a little uncomfortable, and it's not uncomfortable. I just find it boring. And this is a chunker of a book. So we're going to go Nightingale. And then let's look through Spotify and see what we can find for an audiobook that I'm going to craft to. I think I'll do Twilight. I used to be obsessed with Twilight and the movies. I've never actually read the books. Here's proof that I was obsessed with Edward. And I've never read the books. I just wasn't really into reading as much when I was younger as I am now. I think I'm going to add Twilight. Pick a few other books that I just want to read. We'll add Shatter Me. And then we'll add a nonfiction and a graphic novel. The TBR has been set for October. We'll start with the books that actually came from the game. So Nightingale is about, I believe, a woman who is older, possibly about to pass away of an illness. And she's going through her old things and deciding, and she's like seeing her past. And so you're unraveling her past, which is in World War II. I believe this is also like a crier of a book, but this is the book that's out of my comfort zone because it's historical fiction. Don't usually gravitate towards historical fiction. Foxglove is going to be my one-word title. I loved Belladonna. Belladonna is about an orphaned young woman. She goes through a bunch of different family homes, and death seems to always follow her. Literally, when she stays with someone, they end up passing away. And she gets put into this new home where there's like a murder mystery sort of deal that she's trying to solve. And it's a good time because of death. I won't say more than that, but I'm excited to read the second one. Gallant is going to be my horror choice. I don't know if it's technically a horror, but I know that it's scary and it gives me horror vibes. All I know about this is that a woman goes to a house that is either something that she inherited or her mom's house, but her mom is like, don't go back to this house. You can't go back to this house. And it's like, kind of like, why can I go back to this house? There's something weird about it, but my mom won't really tell me. But she goes back to the house, of course, and I believe she starts finding journals and starts finding like this sickening tale that unfolds about this house. Next is I'm Having So Much Fun Without You, which is about, let's see, this is about Richard, an artist who has recently lost his mistress to some famous cutlery designer, which is weird. But okay. When he finds an old painting of his first wife, Anne, and thinks, can I fall in love with her all over again? And it's set in Paris. Did I say that? I think I did. And then the non-game choices. I finished Gravity Falls recently, and I'm having withdrawals. So I want to read this graphic novel, and I also need to return it to the library, so I need to read it soon. But it's like extra Lost Legends stories. But this will be a fun one to just fly through, kind of like a in-between books. Next is Everything I Know About Love, which by Dolly Alderton. It's a memoir that I've heard reads a little fiction, so I feel like this is a good way to dip my toe into some memoir nonfiction type book. The cover is also gorgeous. Last is Shatter Me. Juliet's touch is fatal, but the reestablishment has plans for her. Plans to use her as a weapon, but Juliet has plans of her own. This is the beginning of a series, and I've heard there's like a love or a romance that is enticing, but I feel like people really love this story. I also love the floppiness of this book, so I'm excited to pick it up. The cover is also, I like the way it feels in my hand. So this, and Twilight. which if you don't know what Twilight is about, it's about a vampire and a teenage girl. But this is my TBR for October. Comment down below what's on your TBR. Do I need to add something to mine? So I hope that you all have a good day. I will link this bookopoly down below, and if you want it, you can get it. Or you can just create your own. It's a fun little, what's the word? Activity. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you whenever I see you the next time I see you. Bye.